Whenever you are being manipulated by somebody, there's always a certain pattern that these people follow in order to set traps for you and eventually use you for their own good. So, what I'm going to show you here is the pattern, like this is the most common pattern which many people fall for time and time again. It's like the first thing is this manipulator or narcissist or sociopath is very charming, it's very, soft and kind on the outside, comes to you and learns a lot of information about you. And they rarely speak about themselves, right? They rarely mention any negative events happening in their life, but they are very good listeners. They sit there, they ask you about your problems, and they're like overly concerned. And whenever you're saying your problems out to them, they will give you solutions. And in a way, they're not really viable solutions. And because they don't want you to, solve all your problems, they're just giving out, some random stuff here, random stuff there, and they expect you to trust them. Because what they're doing here is earning your trust. And the more you share to these people, the more leverage they have against you. And the more time you have spent with them, the more you think that they are reliable, and the more you will eventually start trusting them. And in a way, if you actually notice, like whenever somebody has really manipulated you, you have shared more information, like more things about yourself than them sharing anything about themselves. It's like sometimes you don't even know what they actually are, and they know everything about you. They know every single detail because they got to a place. They tapped into a place in your heart, in your mind, where you felt that they are safe because they are so outwardly kind, and they are very good listeners. They just sit there, get talking to you, get you talking, make you feel comfortable, at ease, and then just extract information, especially information that is connected to emotions. Something really bad happened to you, your traumatic events, and then they will identify what is your future goals, what are your plans, and then they will position themselves in a way like as if they are helping you. But if you actually notice, like they're not really sharing anything about themselves, they're just touching the bare minimum. And number two, they're not even, giving you any solid solution for any of your problems. They're just saying some random words here and there. It's not really helpful. And the third thing, your intuition says something is off. Because most of the time, before you were actually being, manipulated or put in a situation where you ended up in the well, like where you hit rock bottom, your intuition has communicated with you. It's only that we ignored it, like your brain ignored it. We didn't see that, like we didn't trust our gut feeling. All right, because your intuition kind of picks up, wait, this is weird. This person knows everything about me, but I don't know anything about this person. And this person gets overly emotional but doesn't share their emotional aspects of their life. This person gives things that I can do, but none of them are a viable solution for me. And in a way, if you notice, they're positioning themselves in order to gain your trust to get something out of you. And most of the times, it's basically they want more opportunity, probably want some money from you, probably require more than that. Some psychopaths really kind of get high, like they get this kind of kick while they manipulate other people and use their emotions against themselves. And in a way, they are setting up traps for you because they show that they are very overly emotional. All right, they become very emotional very soon. They start telling things, start opening up to you, but they're not really opening up to you. They're not really getting down deep. They're just giving out surface level information. They communicate first very clearly, and then once you are, slightly comfortable in sharing to them, they become very good listeners. And this is the exact same pattern that which is being followed by 98, 99% of the manipulators out there, narcissists and sociopaths. Like these guys actually blend in very well. But a narcissist is slightly different because the narcissist will not put down their ego in order to, have a nice conversation with you. And a sociopath likes, depending on other people, and it's like using other people for their own benefit. And they like to, show themselves off as a very sociable person, as a person who's very kind and this one, and it's all outworldly. And sometimes, these people, they'll disregard any negative things that connect to their character. They will present themselves in such a way where they have no flaw. And if you come across anybody that says or claims that they're perfect, that they don't have any flaws, that they're positive, that they're holy, that's fucking bullshit. Because nobody is 100% perfect. And the more authentic you are, the more authentic connections you'll also receive and you'll also make. And when you come across certain people who are very highly charismatic, who can talk to anybody and who's also talking to you and opening up about their emotions, but they kind of claim that they're very positive, they're very good, they're holy and stuff. That's fucking bullshit. Just think better right now. And now these people will claim all of this stuff to enhance the trust you have on them, and then they'll get you emotional. They'll show some initial emotions that they're sad, they're very, to make you feel pity about them. They'll cook up some stories, they'll mention some things, but if you actually look, right, the person doesn't really give a shit about you. All right, the person is saying this in order to gain something out of you, and then they want you to open up, and not just to open up and merely say some things. They want you to emotionally react to all the things around you, and they will put you in a very low vibrational state, and they put you in a state where you're feeling anger, shame, apathy, guilt. And whenever you talk to these people, it's like your energy as being drained, and they kind of get energy like whenever they talk to you, because this is what energy vampires do. Like most of the energy vampires are manipulators. They start off as manipulating people so that, like, when they're talking to you, they kind of get energy because they are unable to source energy from the universe. Now, I made an entire video on energy vampires. You can watch that to understand what I'm actually telling you. I'll link that down in the description below and the pop-up card above. So these energy vampires depend on other people to feel happy because they're unable to feel happy. And when they see you happy, they see you feeling all the good things in life, it kind of irritates them. Like, how can this person be happy when I'm not feeling happy? And they get you emotionally reacting to all the sad things in life, bad things in life, messed up things in life. And when they get you emotionally reacting, they get information out of you. And then they're also sourcing energy, because energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be transferred from one state to another. So when you're losing this higher vibrational energy of love, happiness, you're being drained by talking to them. It's just flowing from you to them. And they're just sitting there, gaining power. And then they'll start manipulating you, saying constant stories, cooking up constant stories that even they are emotional, so that you can get more emotional, so that you open up more things to them. And eventually they will take all of this information and use fear as a mechanism to control you, probably blackmail you. And then that's how they keep manipulating you. And eventually they end up using you, taking advantage of you, and get what they want from you. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you look back on all the times you have been taken advantage of people, you have been played for certain people. And if you notice, these people are very manipulative. And if you actually break that down, these people were very charming and charismatic at first. And when they spoke to you, they made you feel at ease. They made you feel comfortable. And when you were comfortable and at ease, and then they showed an initial layer of emotions, you trusted them. You thought they're good, they're perfect, they're here to listen to me. And then you shared your emotions, and then they got you emotionally reacting. And if you really notice, like, what actually happened when you were manipulated by all these people, you were feeling emotions of shame, anger, pain. These are not really pleasant emotions. You were feeling unpleasant emotions while you were facing or having a conversation with these people, spending time with these people. And in a way, your energy was being drained, but they got you emotionally reacting so that your logical mind doesn't work much. All right, your prefrontal cortex kind of gets weakened when you become overly emotional. It's unable to take proper solid decisions, and they know that. Like when you're overly emotional, of course you can't think straight, like 99% of the time. It's a known fact. Your brain is not functioning properly. And that time they extract all the information from you. And the more you share to them, the more you trust them. And then they'll just use this as leverage. They're going to use this as a way to control you, induce fear in you, so they can control you and get what they want. And eventually, once you realize it's too late, that time they're just going to use fear as a mechanism to keep you under their spell. And this is what exactly happened when you have been manipulated in the past, when you have been taken advantage in the past, when you have been used. This will happen in relationships, friendships, or worse, in your household. So once you understand this pattern of how the people manipulate you, it will be so much more easier for you to spot. It's always, only when you get emotionally reactive, right? That's when you're unable to think straight. So all you have to do in order to not be manipulated by people is stop getting triggered or stop emotionally reacting when people start to mention certain things. And you can do that only if you overcome your trauma on the inside, because you would have developed certain set of trust issues, and now when you're overcoming these trust issues, you're trying to open yourself up to the world, but also at the same time, I'm free, I'm opening up myself to the world, I'm overcome all these things, I am pure hearted soul. If you're being like that, the world is not like that. If you're good and pure, the world is not good. So you must also be smart. In a way, you have to be smart enough to identify the pitfalls and the ones which actually lift you up. So that's how you control your state. You overcome your trauma, you open yourself up, but also you have this mental clarity. Like whenever somebody mentions something really traumatic that happened to you, you don't really have an emotional surge, but it's just news for you, and you're not fully reacting. All right, and this puts you in a place where your intuition becomes stronger, and now you can understand them even more clear. Like just by talking to them for 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, sometimes even a minute or 30 seconds, you can identify if this person actually means well to you, or the person doesn't really mean well, or this person is there to take something away from you, or this person is there to actually destroy you. Like, it becomes so clear. All right, so do the inner work, open yourself out of the world, but also at the same time be smart in identifying these people, because you can do all the inner work, you can do all the positive self-help and follow a righteous path, but there's certain people who don't allow you to stay on this path. All right, and this will eventually put you in a state where you're self-sabotaging, and they'll bring you back down to the same hell that you're trying to escape from. So be more aware of what is happening. Of course, you must do the inner work and open yourself up to the world, but also be smart. Never allow anybody to drag you down to the bottom, and that happens only if you have this mental clarity, this stability in your mind. Like no matter what anybody mentions, any traumatic event, in your life, you're not triggered. It's just news for you, and you can identify. Like now it's more clear. Your brain is working in supersonic speed. Like you're thinking like the Flash. Like you have this intelligence of Ultron. Like things are just flowing, and your intuition is telling you. And now everything is more clear, and you'll save yourself from so much more pain and trauma, and life just becomes more easier. Getting relationships just become easier, and identifying the good people from the bad people becomes so much more easier. So hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.